Hello, calculus students. We're going to evaluate a limit in this problem, and we have t is tending towards 0. So initially, it might look like, might be tempting to say that this limit does not exist because you're going to have a 1 over 0 and a 1 over 0. But you have to be a little careful, and you have to do some preliminary analysis before going through evaluating this limit, and that's going to entail doing some algebra. Okay, so here I took the liberty of factoring out the 1 over t from this expression, and then I can see that if I plug in t as 0 here, that's in the denominator. We can think of this as the numerator. It would be going over on the 1 here. I would have 0 in the denominator, certainly, but if I let this be 0, that's the square root of 1, so I have 1 over 1 minus 1 over 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0, so I have 0 over 0, and that is an indeterminate form. So I have to proceed with caution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing some algebra. I'm going to find a common denominator, which is the square root of 1 plus t, and I'm going to multiply the top and bottom here by the square root of 1 plus t. And now I'm just going to simplify this expression a little bit. Now I haven't done anything, so I'm still going to get 0 over 0, because if I plug a 0 in here, I still have 1 minus the square root of 1, which is 1, so I still have 0 over 0. Alright, but I recognize that I have a 1 minus a square root term, and that reminds me of the conjugate. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate. And when I do that, I'm going to multiply that 1 there, and then when I multiply the square root by the square root, that's a square. So the middle terms, the minus square root of 1 plus t and the plus square root of 1 plus t are going to cancel. So I have a difference of squares now on the top, and that's going to be 1 minus, and then if I take the square, if I square the square root, I'm just going to get a 1 plus t. However, in the denominator, I have a square root times 1 plus the square root of 1 plus t. Okay, now I'm going to take this minus 1 here, this minus sign, if you think of it as a minus 1, I'm going to distribute it. And when I do so, something terrific happens. I get a 1 minus 1, so these 1's are going to end up canceling. And I'm left with a minus t in the numerator. And in the denominator, I'm just going to leave that expression alone because I've just eliminated the terms that have made this limit indeterminate. These t's cancel, and I just get a minus 1 on the top. So I'm going to stretch out over here a little bit. So that leaves me with the limit as t goes to 0 of minus 1 over the square root of 1 plus t, whoops, let me write t a little bit better than that, times 1 plus the square root of 1 plus t. And if you plug in t equals 0 for all these terms, we're not going to get 0 over 0 anymore, and we won't get 0 in the denominator. And you'll find that you get an answer of minus 1/2. Good luck.